When I was a child growing up in the 1980s here in Britain, people were very different, and the qualities that they had residing in their hearts were also very different than they seem to be today. People shared the sacred gifts of love, fellowship, and common friendship even for mere strangers. People would greet a passerby with a hello or a gentle smile, communicating a mutual common affection for their fellow man. A now long-lost courtesy of being respectful and loving to all. These days people are not even willing to accommodate their friends or their family, never mind the strangers they may pass on the street. It seems the world has not only lost the desire to communicate, but also they forgot how to communicate. And this makes many of us feel like an alien in our own bodies, because it is the natural human instinct to reach out, to talk to each other, to touch, to show and receive affection on any scale or of any depth or gravity. I fear this natural impulse will surely die out, and with it the death of talking and indeed the withering of our hearts. You see people glued to their computer screens, IMing each other for hours on end in the sterile textual medium. Or instead of two neighbours chatting with each other over the garden fence, you see people now choosing to stay in the safety of their own homes in front of the television, not wanting to even get to know their neighbours, probably not even knowing who their neighbours are. Almost afraid of the world and the people that reside in it. We watch videos online or at home trying to communicate with somebody on the screen, but yet we will always be failing miserably at communication because the talker, the star of that video, has already recorded their message and moved on some time ago. The passivity of the internet is almost clinical, giving people the opportunity of arranging their thoughts or their responses, their conversation or their reactions ahead of time, allowing thought and preparation instead of being in the moment, instead of feeling what the heart wants you to feel as and when, letting the heart speak. The unpredictable and irrational nature of how the heart feels is seemingly missing in action in an inactive world, as is the true depth and the true beauty of human communication. People seem to actively avoid speaking to each other, especially communicating in the spirit of truth, because the truth, of course, desires to set us free, and yet we as people seem intent on enslaving ourselves in chains. Our world is our dungeon, and the people in it our jailers. Somewhere within us all is a caged songbird just waiting to sing joyously. Should we set it free, that is. And perhaps there is also a butterfly within all of us, ensnared within a net. We are suffocated and unable to breathe. You see people with cell phones seemingly surgically attached to their ears, or people wearing earphones to block the outer world out. When you make a call, it's answered by a machine. You take cash out of a hole in the wall instead of sharing a light foray into conversation with a bank teller. Even supermarkets have automatic checkout facilities now, making the need for a person redundant, and with it removing the chance to communicate with one another. How sad it is that communication must die, an unnoticed demise into death. I grow weary of this barren land, the sterile world in which we live. The silence within the deafening din of life is like a dagger unto my heart. I feel often suffocated by what has become an empty world, where even the hearts of man are empty and unwilling. The vacuum of their souls could easily crush mine. Why are we so afraid to talk to each other? What are we ashamed of? How did it come to this? Somehow we have gotten used to dealing with machines and doing things autonomously. For many, this breeds apathy. For others, because we have all become surplus to requirements to each other. There is no such thing as society or community. They are long-lost, forgotten relics of the past. And somehow, within all of this madness, it became okay. But it is very far from okay, and it is a very long way to happy. Bye-bye for now, and much love to you all.